that kind of thing, yeah.
The jobs, yeah. Well, I graduated from high school, salutatorian,
That's good.
and I went to the Morris branch of the university to take a business course or secretarial course. The high school out in the country did not have typing or shorthand. And then jobs were so scarce. Summertime I worked in a cafe. What did I get working in that cafe? I think it was $7 a week. And my food.
Ryan, go.
And then I didn't have a job by the next fall, so I went to St. Cloud Business School for 6 months. And then I heard that they were hiring in our county courthouse in the AAA office. Now that was one of Roosevelt's programs too. It was a farm program. And I went to work there in the loan department because they made out loans to farmers. Worked there 7.5 years. Till I got stupid and got married. Otherwise, I don't know what else to say. When I went to school at the Morris branch of the U, I was in the a cappella choir there. I don't know what else. Let's see. I did housework, room and board, where I lived. So, when I went to Morris, I stayed in a dorm, and I took care of the office for the house mother of the dorm. So they have, each dorm has, I suppose the men had a man in charge. What do you see, a cat?
Rabbit. To the left.
Ryan is nervous. He wants that bite. I wish I should have had more time to get a hold of Leroy, but I don't think he really cares. In fact, I think he asked your dad if he wanted that bite before.
I think he did, yeah. He did. I was standing right there.
Oh, you got it, huh? What did that come off of? You can take those, because he keeps bringing them home. Ugh.
But that brings him home, too. But that brings him home, too.
Many of them around here. I rarely use any sweetener. So, what else do you think you should know?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose that's about it.
Let me read that last part there again. Oh, yeah, you got my words there now. I should have had on there that I learned when I was talking about sewing, that I learned to sew my own clothes very young.
You better watch out, there's a cat there.
I suppose by 4th grade, I did some sewing.
I still can't sew very well. I had my class at school and everything.
Gee, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I got a couple hours tomorrow before I stop
Yeah,
by.
but you gotta play that and listen to it and you gotta write.
When I was there, the Depression was Roseville.
Well, the Depression didn't officially end until World War II started.
And, what's the name, the WPA was over with already, and that, when I went to the CC. That was, you had to be poor and, you know, like, you didn't have parents or something like that, you could go into CCs, or the folks were so poor, they couldn't hardly do that, they had to be on welfare or something.
There's just,
Well, tell her about your home, where you live,
there's some questions here, and I mean, if you don't know them,
Oh, okay, let's get out of here.
I can't.
it's like, here's the first one is, what do you remember about the stock market crash of 1929?
I don't remember, that was around before Roosevelt come in, before the 30s. And I would say, I was born in 22, so I was around 6, 7, 8 years old. I went in, I said at 6 years old, I went into St. Cloud Orphanage there, and they fed the kids and everything, and, you know, you wouldn't know that there was a depression there.
Did anyone you know of lose their business or life or property because of the depression?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Did anyone you know lose their business, life? Did anyone you know lose their business, life, or property as a result of the depression?
Well, there was, what I told you, most of the business, there was no business. Nobody bought anything or tried to buy with. Well, they could get something to eat. Farmers would help people and stuff like that. Then the farmers weren't even allowed to. They had to come around. They counted their animals and that they had on the farms, and they couldn't sell them because there was no price. But they weren't even supposed to eat them. But they did butcher some, and they fed themselves. They ate them, and then they gave it to some of the poor people, and then none to eat, so they gave them some meat, eggs, and stuff. Don't know it.
What do you remember?